that one?
That's 4 games in 8 days, and to do it without Keanu, having everybody step up in different occasions, different moments during this whole stretch, was really important. So it was great to see the guys get the result that they deserve. Sure, it wasn't without its challenges. We found ourselves down again. The offense got a little bit stagnant in the third. We were getting stops, but we're just rushing it a little bit on the offensive end. Played a little bit passive in the fourth. But then also you just reflect on the fact that this is probably our best shooting night in a while, and we do so off the back of this 8-day road trip, really, because we were at home and then we were on the road and we played at home, and looking forward to a day off.
On that shooting, I guess Taj, his percentages were unreal tonight. How big of a part did he play tonight, not only tonight but recently, in making sure these games go smoothly?
Yeah. I mean, I've said it again and again and again, you know, it's the intangibles that he brings. So, you know, you put him on Harvey in Illawarra. You put him on Harvey. Then you put him on Sobey, and then we put him on Creek. So he can defend multiple positions. And, you know, his energy is contagious amongst the group. And it starts on the defensive end and it trickles down the whole group. Smart too, like foul trouble early, I don't sub him out anymore. So that's not something we necessarily quickly go, oh, he's got 2 early ones, let's sub him out. And I keep rolling with it because he's also smart enough to pick and choose his battles. So, again, like I feel like I'm, you know, on the Taj parade bandwagon every week, but, you know, this is what we sat at the start of the season, and you know, we were in a room with Mark and Troy, and we had Taj there, and we said, how can this team be competitive? I feel like we're pretty competitive.
I guess to highlight another player, Shannon, he's had another great game for you guys, especially with Keanu out. How much of a big part has he been playing recently with Keanu out, and I guess continuing, as you just said there, about Taj?
Yeah, exactly that. Guys filling the void. He did something similar when Taj was out earlier in the season. You know, his biggest fault, right, is his unselfishness, his selflessness. When we're full strength, he tends to take a back seat. And I think the reality now is he sees it, like we all do, is we need him to continue to be that assertive point guard that he is. I subbed him out in the fourth because I felt like he got a little bit stagnant. And that was cool about Ben. Ben came out and, you know, made some things happen. So, you know, Shannon's been great for us, and he's a great balance for Taj in our backcourt.
Sam, how did you see it out there? They swapped things up a little bit there, and got to play in a few different plays. How did you see the game?
For me, it was a very physical game. Probably had to guard one of the strongest guys in the league, so that was fun. But yeah, as Forde said, you know, we were moving it well. Especially in the second quarter, kind of in that third a bit. But we got a bit stagnant. So yeah, we just got to keep like being aggressive, especially when we're up, instead of like trying to hold the lead or anything like that. Because that's our game. That's our identity, as being that fast-paced, aggressive team. But, you know, proud of the boys for coming out getting this dub, especially being down in that first quarter. But hopefully we can keep it rolling.
You've had some very physical matchups recently. How are you finding that? Are you enjoying the challenges that a lot of these teams are bringing, especially alongside a winning side?
Yeah, I enjoy the matchups. You know, going against high-level, high-talent players. You know, Baines the other night, Williams tonight. Just guys who are just, you know, at the peak of physicality in this game. And I try to take on the matchup. Obviously, a little lighter, a little skinnier, but I enjoy it. You know, I've kind of been doing it my whole career as an undersized big man, kind of. So yeah.
Hey, Forde, just in terms of the rebounding and defensive end, I think it's finished with 7. I think there was 1 or something in that first quarter. Is that an area for concern, or do you think that's addressed?
It's not addressed. It's still an area of concern, right? The first quarter we gave up. We couldn't defend without fouling, so we'll send them to the foul line, and we'll give it up second chance points. And you know, we gave up 35 points and found ourselves down early. Teams are going to keep trying to expose us, and all we can keep doing is getting better at it. But the cool thing about it is where we've improved without Keanu, and then when Keanu coming back, we're going to be better for it. So, you know, I feel like earlier in the season I was getting on Sam multiple occasions about finishing out the game with 3 rebounds or 4 rebounds. And, you know, now this is, I forget what he had in Illawarra, but, you know, it was 11 and 9 and now 7 boards. And, oh, no, it was 11 and 9 against Illawarra, 24 and 7 against Brisbane, and now tonight another 7 rebounds. So he's going to be getting those numbers when Keanu's back and will be a better rebounding unit. You can't replace, 10 rebounds a game by, an overnight solution. But the cool thing about it is the guys compete and battle. You know, the ones we do give up, you know, they have had to work for it. We're not just giving them up and guys are getting uncontested layups. So, you know, I can't fault the guys for effort because, every single one of those O boards, maybe 2 or 3 of them, they had to fight for them. So South East earned them, for sure.
What have you made of, Ball? Obviously, last time we talked about Ball, he was playing a really good night against Brisbane the other night as well, started fighting. Just in terms of picking up those fouls early and his work in the defensive end. You talked about how he's the bulldog and he goes after it. He's always in amongst it, but do you see him trying to avoid those early calls as being an issue, or do you think he's just playing or learning to play more with those fouls in his pocket?
He's really matured in a sense of, like, again, another guy that picks and chooses his battles. You know, when he was out there, he finished the game plus 20. I know people are for or against the plus minus as a stat, but, you know, that's the impact he can have, right? He has 5 points, he's, 3 rebounds, but, you know, he's just so assertive and so dominant. And it's really cool to know that, you can put Taj on a target, and Shannon's a great defender as well. And then you got Bull, take somebody else, and it's relentless, right? Opposition teams will feel that, and Bull's done a good job, obviously, because a month ago he would have fouled out, so he picked up 2 early ones. We sat him, and he got the balance right for the remainder of the game.
And just last one for me as well. How proud were you, I guess, to not be at the arena against the Bullets and see the guys from the performance they did and see?
Yeah. This is the thing we said we wanted. We wanted it self-governed. We wanted it to operate like a machine. You take one person out, you replace them with another, and it just keeps rolling. We've seen that with players. We had it earlier in the season with Taj. There was a stretch where Sam was out, and this moves here and that compensates for this and that. And, it was nice to be able to sit in my hotel room and enjoy a game and not have to worry about, getting behavioural warnings on the sideline. So, this is it. It's the machine that we're creating. You're an important piece of the puzzle, right? But it's a real detailed and complicated piece of the puzzle that that people bring. But it's important that we're not just reliant on one player or one coach or whatever it may be. So it's kind of cool to see it take shape for what it is.
When you're ready, Chris.
Forde, just quickly, how are you feeling, first of all?
Yeah, the boys have played 4 games in 8 days, and I reckon I'm the one that's feels most beaten up. So I think the season just catches up to you after a while, and I've been burning the candle at both ends. So I've got to do a better job looking after myself, I think.
How strange was it not being there with the team the other day? I mean, you talked about the positives of being in the hotel room and watching, but
yeah,
how strange an experience was it?
The crazy thing wasn't, and I'm not even trying to play like this cool thing. We do it at different times throughout practice during the week. Coaches will run different segments. I've got a great coaching staff. I've got a great support staff. So it's cool when you can roll up to the day and you defer, the medical side of it to our high performance team and the physio, and then then we got our ignition phase, which Ro takes care of, and then Steph takes care of the player management load, and and I just sort of roll in and I blow the whistle and I yell, and that's pretty much what I do. And then you got vitamin groups with the players, the coaches will meet with a certain amount of players, and then they'll run segments, and guys will run the scout. So even though, Kez was head coach in that Brisbane game, that was Grug's scout. And so he took care of the matchups and the defensive scheme side of things. And like with everything, his attention to detail is amazing, and he absolutely nailed it. And so having those guys work as a real efficient team, I won't lie, I need the day off.
Sam, I don't think there's another team in the league that can put up points as quickly as you can and get out and play at the pace that you guys can when you're up and running like you were in that second quarter. What's it like being out there as part of that from a playing perspective?
A lot of fun. You know, you kind of get in that rhythm where kind of just find anyone and anyone can get hot. You know, obviously DJ, he goes off in hot stretches. Shannon tonight, and lately he's been going great for us. But yeah, when you kind of get all things moving, all pieces are kind of working together, it's just like this kind of unreal feeling. It's super fun, and yeah, you try to aim to be like that all game long. You know, most of the time, it's you can't do that for 40 minutes, but you try to, and yeah, again, just fun.